G'day team, it's your old mate the Kiwi Badger, and we're out here doing it on the old ST. So, let's close up some air vents. Oh, it's been a little while since I made a video on the bike, and for that I do apologise. I went up with my beautiful partner up to Hawke's Bay. When was that? 2 weeks ago, and the bike performed really well. I did about 222 miles until the gas light came on. So it was nice doing a bit of a trip and only having to fill up once. It was actually really nice. So where are we going? What are we doing? We're just taking the bike for a little bit of a run because it needs it. And yeah, I thought I would stop and give you a bit of a walk around the bike as well. Okay, so those of you that are new, okay, this is a 1995 Honda ST 1100. It is a longitudinal 1084cc V4. It makes around about 120 horsepower, brand new off the shelf, I guess. I don't know what it is now. Probably it's a little bit less. I wouldn't say it's much less than factory because the bike itself has only done 43,000 miles. For those of you that are sort of just joining up, I purchased this bike off a friend of mine, and it was gifted to him by his stepfather, who brought it into New Zealand from England where it was sold new. That's why it's in miles and not in kilometres an hour, because yeah, it was sold in Britain or in England. Originally the paint was green and it's now black. It has a factory paint job, it's not a factory paint job, a custom paint job, which features Celtic style custom graphic on the tank right there of some Irish wolfhounds. Now, given the fact that it's a custom paint job, I won't be changing it because there's no need to really. I think it looks alright, even though the Irish wolfhounds mean nothing to me, and the old number plate used to be Wolf 2. I had been contemplating what to call this bike. Is it a he? Is it a she? I don't know if it's a he or a she. So I'm just going to roll with Wolfie. This bike's name is Wolfie. But let me tell you folks, this bike is no slouch. I can see why the police used to use them for many years. It's a shaft-driven bike, so that lends itself to very smooth power delivery. It's quite heavy. I don't know what its wet weight is. Heaps, I would say. It's got a 28 litre tank, and some reports would have this bike doing over 450 kilometres per tank. Isn't it nice and quiet down here, behind the windscreen? Out of that wind noise. Yep. I'm actually going to get another little screen to go up here just to send that wind over a little higher again. But what has it got on it controls wise? This is an old bike, so it's fairly basic. It's got an adjustment here to put the headlight up and down, because if you are fully laden with a passenger and full luggage, is going to alter where the headlight points, so you can never play with that. I haven't had an opportunity to ride it in the dark, so I don't even know where it's pointing. I should really take the time, considering I ride with my headlight on. But I made a video some time ago riding the ST1300, and I mean, you can hear the engine on this. But the engine on the ST1300 was really, really whiny. Not so bad on this one. Also too, my legs would touch the fairing on the ST1300, whereas on this one, it's not so bad. But so comfortable. So very, very comfortable this bike is. So very, very comfortable this bike is. So it's pretty bloody windy today, as you can probably tell. We're going to take a little bit of a back road here. It's the ride I call going around the block. It's got some straightaways, it's got some undulations, it's got some corners, and let me tell you, this bike handles pretty well around the corners too. Like, I'm doing 60 mile an hour right here. That's 100 kilometers. Not that that corner was overly tight, but you know, this bike's got inbuilt crash protection, which is kind of cool too. Down there, lower in the fairing, there's a couple of fins, one on each side, which are actually crash bars, and the police would mount their lights and sirens to them as well. I don't know if the old police bikes were any more powerful than the factory ST1100s. One would say they probably were. I don't know, but this bike's got plenty enough power. I love the old technology in these older bikes. This and the VTR Manfred are both naturally aspirated. Very low amount of computation. There's bugger all computers involved in this. This bike does have ABS, and I believe it was the first bike that Honda put ABS on. And as you know, if you've been following the revamp, yeah, I've had to tinker with the ABS, and I've learned a lot about ABS actually. The good thing about this bike though is if I was to take the fuse out of the ABS modulator, I'd still have brakes. But it's a real shame that I hadn't made this video a couple of days ago because the weather was bloody perfect. Yeah. Another thing got going on is a mate of mine, a YouTube friend of mine, Double Shot Moto, has gone and reached himself 100 subs. Well done, brother. Well done. See the good work, or the hard work and dedication, it pays off. Not that you're going to make huge money from 100 subs or even 1,000 subs, but yeah, it's one of those little milestones. If you do make videos, it's nice to hit 100 subs. It sort of reinvigorates you and, you know, gets you thinking about the you know, about what you're doing. So well done, Double Shot, well done. I was also nominated probably a couple of months ago by me old mate Volgnit, Family Friendly Marty, Family Friendly Marty, Family Friendly Marty. All he cares about is views. Yeah, Volgnit, he nominated me for the 3x3 challenge. Now the 3x3 challenge is, what do we got here? You want to use an indicator, buddy? There we go. The 3x3 challenge is I tell you 3 things about me that you don't already know, and then I nominate 3 people to do the same. Well, I can tell you guys, there's very little you don't already know about me. Your old mate Kiwi Badger, he's told you a lot. I haven't told you my first name or my name, and that's going to remain the same. And I haven't told you what it is I do for a living, and that also is not going to change. The reason being is my job can open me up to a huge amount of scrutiny from the public, and if someone wants to have a bloody whinge and a moan about what I do, it can affect me professionally. So, and it's also a pretty high risk, high stress job, and I'd just rather not talk about it if I'm honest. So there's 2 things you don't know about me. I'll reiterate multiple points for those of you that have just come to the channel. So I'm recently 40 years of age. I was married for well over a decade. I have 4 children by my ex-wife. I have 3 girls and a boy. My kids are 6, 10, 13 and 16. The oldest being obviously 16 is the boy. And my partner, my beautiful, amazing, talented, caring and generous, artistic, creative, beautiful partner has 2 boys, and they are 6 and 8. So between the 2 of us, we have 6 children. Yep, 6 kids. My partner's boys and my 2 oldest children live with us full time, and my 2 youngest children by my ex-wife live with her. So it's not an ideal situation, but yeah, it's workable. I get to see them for about a third of the year, which is better than not at all, I guess. So yeah, I've held many jobs over the years. I've worked in a home-cooked butchery and a bakery, and no, I have not worked in a candlestick makery. What else have I done? I've worked in an abattoir, or a freezing works, as we call them here in New Zealand. So I've worked in an abattoir on the slaughter board, where my job was to separate guts. Then I left there and I went and trained as a chef. So I'm actually a chef by trade, where a vast majority of my working life has been in hospitality, doing door work. I did door work from the age of 17 to 37, and only just recently gave that up, purely because it just does not pay. It just doesn't pay, you know. The amount of risk you're at versus your financial compensation is pretty disproportionate, so I've just given that away. I've got 6 kids to worry about now, so I'm not going to worry about getting glassed or bottled or stabbed by some idiot for like $200 a night. It's not going to happen. Also too, when I started doing door work, you didn't need a license. Now you do. I did hold all possible security licenses, which are crowd control, property protection. Oh, there's been a bit of a fire, eh? No good. Property protection, personal guard, which is bodyguarding, security consultant, security technician, confidential document destruction, and private investigator. I was a licensed private investigator for a number of years. What else can I tell you? Well, I've been in my current job for 15 years, and I'm actually applying for a new position as we speak. It's a long drawn out process, but I've been through the interview phase. There's probably going to be some kind of assessment centre where we sit down and contrive fake circumstances and role play. But you know, that's the nature of the beast. It is what it is. So I would assume if I make it through to that stage, that's what's next. I'm not going to tell you what that job is either. What else? My hobbies. I obviously am extremely passionate about motorcycles. I like making videos for YouTube, for the old YouTubers. And I used to be a prolific hunter. Prolific. And I actually did some hunting guiding, paying customers to hunt for wildlife, predominantly deer. There's not a lot about me that I haven't talked about in other videos, apart from those things I've already stated, which is my occupation, my name, and my address actually. But yeah, to pass on the mantle, 3 people who need to tell us 3 things that they haven't already told us. Since Double Shot Moto has already been mentioned once, I'm going to pass it on to you, Double Shot Moto. Fingers rides with his beautiful Aprilia. Fingers, brother, you can step up and 3x3 challenge, my friend. Tell us 3 things we don't know about you. And then one man who he's gone quiet on us is Black Sheep Biker. Black Sheep, come on mate, come out of hibernation and tell us 3 things that we don't already know about you, brother. Okay, brother, broski. Other than that, I see I've had a few new subs lately. Welcome along to the channel. Thanks for coming along. I hope that my ramblings entertain you from time to time. As far as the bikes are concerned, I'm going to be riding old Wolfie here predominantly over summer as me and my gorgeous partner do some touring on weekends. We have no children. And the VTR, trusty old Manfred, who's clocked up 136,000 kilometers, is going to get a makeover. I think I'm going to paint him again and touch up a few things, also fix the damage from where that occurred when my son dropped the bike, and then I may look at selling Manfred, which I'm kind of reluctant to do because I love that bike, but you know, I can't ride 2 bikes. As far as fuel mileage, comfort is concerned, this bike has got all of that, plus it's still got the power. But the VTR, it's a bloody awesome. If you're in the market for an awesome bike, go get a VTR 1000 Firestorm or Super Hawk, depending on where in the world you are. Because quite simply, bang for buck, they are one of the most amazing bikes. They got the power, they got the reliability in spades. The VTR of mine has caused me virtually no problems. Nothing heavily mechanical anyway. You know, I ride that bike quite hard. I also obviously service it, but it still doesn't miss a beat. That bike is awesome. It just keeps on going. It keeps putting its hand up saying, thrash me, spank me, ride me harder. It's a capable bike. It's bloody thirsty. That's probably my only criticism of the VTR, is the fuel economy on it is absolutely shit. You know, I don't know how many fuel stops it was around the South Island in February. Something like 12 or 13 or 14 fuel stops. That is kind of ridiculous. Oh, I gotta get my helmet open. I'm fogging up, people. Fogging up. Terrible, like. There we go. So yeah, the fuel economy on the VTR is absolute rubbish. So I will, I wouldn't miss that. But every other aspect about that bike, it's just amazeballs. But anyway, I'm about home now, so we'll call it quits there. Actually no, let's give you a walk around the bike. Hey, let's give you a wee walk around the bike. Should we do that? We'll pull him down here. Oh, it's a little pug dog. Hello, little pug dog. I wonder if we can get out onto the softball diamond. I wonder. Oh, I probably can. Should we? It's probably a different question. Probably shouldn't, actually. Kids love bikes. So here it is, the old Honda 1995 Honda ST1100. I think it's sort of pretty good nick for its age, and it rides pretty well too. Still got a lot of factory luggage. Tyres are still a pretty good nick, although I do have a slight leak. I'll have to take that in to have it looked at. I'll have to pull the back wheel off. But I think it's looking pretty bloody good. Obviously they used to have some kind of person-to-person communication here at some stage along the way. But it's got heated grips, custom comfort seat. Yeah. So, pretty bloody happy with the old Wolfie there.